Yo guys, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact entry model that I used in order to make a little under $8,000 in the month of May, trading one singular account on Apex. Now I will go ahead and post the payouts as well as the day-to-day profits just to prove that these concepts do work. Now, before we get into it, if you have not watched my previous videos that cover the power of three as well as market maker models, I highly recommend you start with those, as this is the final piece of the puzzle as far as my entries and my entire trading framework in general. So before we get into it, if you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button as well as join the free Discord. I will leave the link down in the description. I have tons and tons and tons of resources available to you for free to learn these concepts. And we have a ton of other traders trading these concepts, getting insane results. So we can go ahead and start talking about our model. Now, if you watch my previous videos, you understand that I'm looking for a power of three setup where we have accumulation, manipulation into a higher time frame PD array, and we're looking to catch the distribution. Now, I like to implement cycles. As far as quarterly theory, you have your microcycle, your 90-minute cycle, daily cycle, weekly cycle, monthly cycle, 3-month cycle, so on and so forth. So typically, I'm looking for a SSMT in the microcycle as well as the 90-minute cycle with a clean accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, where I'm taking my entry on the true change in state of delivery, which is going to be a closure above the down close candle that created your SSMT. Now, if you do not understand what SSMT is or TCISD is, you can learn all this stuff for free in my Discord. But this is the setup I'm looking for every single day. It offers extremely high RR, extremely quick distribution, and it plays out, I would say, 65 to 70% of the time. So we can go ahead and look for some real-time examples in last week's price action. Now, last week was a bit sloppy, but I mean, you can see you have a two-stage SSMT giving us our weekly distribution. So if you can see this setup on the higher time frames, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be playing out on the lower time frames extremely often. So we can go ahead and look for these setups throughout the week, just so you have an idea of how often this does form. We will go back to Monday's market open at 9:30. Now, in terms of the weekly power of three, you know that Monday is typically an accumulation day, so I'm not looking for too much out of price. Typically going to aim for low-hanging fruit and not really put too much risk on the table. Now here we already have a two-stage SSMT going into market open. We've manipulated into, I would like to say, a 15-minute bearish fair value gap here. Now you could look to take a pre-market entry on this candle closure that creates our true change in state of delivery, which is going to be right here. So we can wait for this OB to form, which we have right here, and aim for low-hanging fruit, which would be this low here. Look to take an entry. We can sell one, stop at the high, and targeting our low-hanging fruit. We can see if this plays out. Monday, pretty sloppy, but right then and there, we are hitting take profit. 15 minutes into market open, just off of a two-stage SSMT. Now your TCISD would be right here, but since it took us a while to form the TCISD, you can always look to take this continuation order block out of the true change in state of delivery. That's kind of an advanced concept, but it does play out, as you can see. Now here we get another micro with ES, which is much higher probability in my opinion. We get a strong candle closure. We have a nice accumulation. We manipulate down, manipulate up, put in our SSMT. We have 90 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute true change in state of delivery. Look to take your entry. Target low hanging fruit again, which we can go ahead and target these pre-market lows because this is a pretty nice setup in my opinion. And this is only Monday. And there you have it, plays out once again. Not cherry picking these, I'm taking this setup every time it forms. So we can see if we get a 1030 power of 3 reversal here, we do have another 2-stage, a daily and a 90-minute. So we can wait for a micro, which we get here at this low. Look to take your TCISD, which we get right here. Now, like I said, this might not play. We are just taking every single setup to see the probabilities. Target low hanging fruit should be this high. So yeah, we get stopped out on that one. But kind of a forced trade there. Going into lunch here, we have another 2-stage. Yeah, so it looks like we are bearish all day Monday. This is a 66% win rate on a Monday, which is very, very nice. So we can go ahead and go to Tuesday. Look for the same setup on Tuesday. Here's 9:30 open. Very nice accumulation pre-market. I hate to replay this because we obviously know where price is going to go now. But what do we have? We have 90-minute SSMT, micro SSMT. Wait for our TCISD, which we get right there. We can sell that with our stop at the high. Clean micro power of 3, accumulation, manipulation, 950 macro, distribution lower. What can we look to target? We can look to target low of day. This looks pretty solid. If I can get this arrow out of the way, we could watch this trade play out. Now, obviously, I would probably hold this a lot more in live markets. We can grade this and see if we can get to -1. So there we sweep the internal low, go break even, and there's our -1 target. A+ setup, nice PO3 model. See what happens here at 10:30, 90-minute and micro. Now, I probably would not take this setup, but just for the sake of the video, we can see if the model is going to play out again, just to determine its probabilities. 10:30 reversal idea, targeting high of day, or morning session high. Let me go ahead and set this profit tool. Our stop at the TCISD low. Now, once again, we have a 90-minute SSMT as well as micro entry on our TCISD. This is a grinder. I would be out of this position at this point. But we do get there. I mean, this stuff is like clockwork, guys. Plays out so often. It is such a great setup as long as you have a clean power of 3 in your cycles and a very nice 2-stage SSMT. So we can go on to Wednesday. I will do this last day. I don't want this video to be super long. Now here we have a 2-stage at the low. We have weekly and a daily, so I'd expect this low to be protected, with Tuesday being our weekly manipulation and Wednesday being our weekly distribution. Market maker model. Once again, if you don't understand that, go watch the previous videos. There's 8 a.m. and 9:30 opens here. So we'll go to the 1 minute, see if we have any 2-stage at the lows. We do not. We have a 2-stage at the highs, but like I said, I am now looking for a bullish setup. Doesn't look like we want to get it Wednesday. It's just going to rally without us, which is fine. We do have daily with YM. So we can see going into PM session, we might get a move. So our first SSMT in the PM session, after getting this daily SSMT, this is the first bullish SSMT that we've seen all day. We can just try this and see if this big 2-stage wants to hold. We have daily and micro. Probably would not take this in a live market once again, but for the sake of probabilities and for the video, we're going to try it. We can target low-hanging fruit since it is a poor setup. That would be break even at this point. But what do you know? It still plays out. So you can see the power of the setup. I've only back tested 3 days worth of data, and we lost 1 trade on a Monday, which is extremely understandable. So I highly recommend you guys start studying SSMTs, quarterly theory, learn how to align your cycles with the power of 3 and market maker models, and this entry model is the last piece of the puzzle to make insane money. Hopefully you guys did learn something from this video. If you did, please leave a comment. That would help me out greatly. With that being said, I appreciate you guys coming through. I will see you in the next video. Peace.